Every year or two, when Chappelle releases a new special, we go into red alert. It's like the Olympics for us at cancel culture. It's what we've been training all year for. And we've never been successful at canceling him in the past, but that's not going to stop us from trying this time. Now, what did David Chappelle do in his latest special called The Closer, released on Netflix? Well, he said some very transphobic things in his smug tone of voice, which were not okay. Specifically, what was his #1 offense? Chappelle said, "Gender is a fact." Once again, Dave Chappelle has kicked the LGBTQ community right in the spot where their balls used to be. Now, here to explain why saying gender is a fact is both hateful and untrue is cancel culture's chief nuance officer, Seashell.
If George Carlin, Bill Hicks, and Richard Pryor were still doing comedy, some of these people would self-implode with rage. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Gradowski here of WeAreChange.org. And oh boy, do we have a lot of very important information to get into, as of course we had a very rare moment of some actual media accountability, which was as glorious as it was telling. We're going to get into that, plus all the other lies that the media has been espousing to you. Some very interesting editing of RGB's comments, and of course a lot of conflict of interest. But before we do that, plus a lot more, the small clip that we played in the beginning of this video is from a full video released just by Awaken with JP. He does incredible work. The link to the full video and his channel is down in the description below. And thank goodness YouTube hasn't figured out how to censor satire yet. That might be because big tech social media companies are busy trying to censor everyone, along, of course, with the praise of national media like NPR that literally came out and said Dave Chappelle was using white privilege during his comedy special when he was trying to make people laugh, which NPR called troubling and insinuated that the comedian should be, quote, canceled. Is that absurd? Absolutely, but that, of course, is what has been happening to other people, including medical professionals and scientists that are pointing out the same thing that Dave Chappelle said, as Instagram just censored an evolutionary biologist by posting data that showed men are physically stronger than women. And for that, evolutionary biologist Colin Wright had his post taken down and was threatened to lose access to his account in the future for such serious microaggressions, while of course not even giving him a chance to review their decision, all of course for the horrible crime of talking about actual medical data and scientific studies. And in related news, we also found out that YouTube commentator Steven Crowder also got a strike against his YouTube channel and is preventing from uploading on the platform for over a week for making very similar notions during his comedy routines, which is disturbing because it looks like YouTube is prioritizing people's feelings over, of course, a free, open, and honest discussion. And it's also important to note that this level of censorship doesn't just hit people based on biological differences, it's also very politically motivated, as Instagram is literally fact-checking and saying that people criticizing the $3.5 trillion bill that the government wants to pass, that a part of it has a surveillance provision that will be watching every transaction over $600 for every single American is, quote, missing context, after it was, quote, reviewed by independent fact-checkers in another post. And that's exactly what the government is doing. They want to spend more of your money as they plan to spy on every one of your transactions over $600 to make sure you're paying taxes on it. All, of course, as these similar reckless economic policies have created a major economic perfect storm of devastation coming our way, which is becoming more and more unavoidable whenever you go to the stores. Now, as household items become more unattainable with inflation, as wages stay the same, with global supply chains disrupted to the point where even people with money can't get what they want, the White House Chief of Staff Ron Klein issued a statement saying that the supply chain chaos and inflation issues are, quote, high-class problems, as of course the presidency's policies here have created dramatically increasing levels of poverty, while the richest billionaires have enriched themselves more than ever throughout recorded human history. All of this as travelers face skyrocketing prices to even fly, to travel, as the U.S. government announced just yesterday that it expects households to see their heating bills jump as much as 54% compared to last winter. And with a very dark, cold winter coming, hey, this might be a time where you might want to buy a sweater or some Joe Biden sniffing your feet socks. Hell, we even got beanies. We got it all, including the shirt that I have now saying, "Hi, I'm Joe Biden, and I forgot this message," which you could also exclusively get on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. Yes, I know, cheap plug, but with YouTube demonetizing us, we got to pay the bills here, and the t-shirt store has been incredible in doing this, along with our new platform, lukeuncensored.com, where literally within minutes, our giveaway to the timcast.com Ryan Long We Are Change event that is coming up in just a few days in Washington, D.C. By the way, tickets weren't even sold here. They're only exclusively for members, and man, did they go quick. I'm trying to maybe possibly even find a bigger venue. We're talking about possibly giving out more tickets. We're going to keep you up to date, of course, but I am very excited for this event, and I'm excited to meet all of you. And again, we're going to continue to do giveaways, special promotions, including even creating a way for people to find each other in certain neighborhoods and communities, all exclusively on lukeuncensored.com. We got a lot of big things developing and working on that specific platform. Stay tuned for a lot of very fun things coming to our own website where we exclusively release our unfiltered videos. There's going to be another video later on today. Now, I think it's very fair to say very rarely in our mainstream media landscape do we ever get a fair and honest, real discussion. But there was one rare moment where this happened recently, and that, of course, was when Joe Rogan had CNN's Sanjay Gupta on his show for over 2 hours and was able to have a very diverse conversation with CNN's chief medical correspondent, which I thought was very important, leading to a point in the interview where the situation got a little tense. The video, of course, right now is going viral when Joe Rogan straight out asked the CNN chief medical correspondent, why did CNN lie through their teeth and say that he was taking animal products for sickness that he was dealing with, which is a very serious claim of CNN knowingly omitting and lying about something that has real-world effects. Sanjay Gupta, of course, tried to dismiss this once, twice, 3 times, with Joe Rogan even specifically saying, no, you're not going to get away with this. Quote, dude, they lied and said I was taking horse dewormer. Rogan also pointed out how many people at CNN spreading this lie knew that this was disinformation, knew that this was not true, but yet still continued to slander and attack Joe Rogan for a sickness that he beat right away after taking this specific medication in question that was prescribed to him by a medical doctor and was not an animal product. This, of course, being a clearly very uncomfortable moment for Sanjay Gupta, who looked shocked and awestruck when questioned multiple times about, again, an important moment when the mainstream media knowingly spread disinformation that would have real-life consequences. This, of course, as Sanjay Gupta was trying to convince Rogan to get another medical procedure that the establishment wants everyone to take on this specific show. But when countered with this specific question, let's be honest here, he really didn't have an answer for this gross media malpractice that took place, leaving the segment saying, I should have asked why they did this, while of course still trying to downplay this entire incident and act like it wasn't a big deal, but it was. It is a big deal, since of course the mainstream media spread dangerous medical disinformation that was absolutely not true, and they knew it not to be true. Now, of course, this is not the first time that the media has spread disinformation and lies to the general public about the current situation happening around this world. There's an overwhelming amount of evidence and information suggesting that a lot of information has not been vetted, has not been questioned, has not been fact-checked, but has just been regurgitated by bureaucratic government officials like Dr. Fauci that have made multiple statements, many times contradicting themselves within a span of just a few days. And whether it's masks or Christmases, mandates or lockdowns or effectiveness, we have to understand that, of course, the science hasn't been settled here, no matter how many times they tell you it is. You could clearly see that because they keep changing the science every time it's not convenient for them. And again, it's also important to note here that Dr. Fauci said that a procedure that Sanjay Gupta was trying to get Joe Rogan to take was 100% safe and effective. Just a few weeks ago, the mainstream media regurgitated that talking point and then said that it was 99% effective, 98, 97, 96, 95, 94, 93, and on, all the way down, 84, 83, 82, 78, 71, with even some mainstream media outlets saying that some people only have 33% effectiveness with this procedure. What's going on here? I don't know. I'm not a medical professional. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to tell you what to do here, but I am trying to remind you that the mainstream media usually lies through their teeth. Even admittedly, as Katie Couric just came out and talked about how she covered up statements by former Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and how she censored the Supreme Court Justice because she didn't like what she said and thought it would end the fanfare and support for this Supreme Court Justice, with specifically Ruth Bader Ginsburg criticizing people taking a knee, which she said was, quote, contempt for a government that made a decent life possible for them. This comment was censored, edited away from the general public. Her true beliefs were never shared because the mainstream media had more of an agenda and a narrative to promote that was more important to them than the truth and the actual facts of this matter. So with this happening in 2016, what do you think is happening now, especially with corrupted criminal agencies and multinational corporations like Pfizer that literally have a rotating door within the FDA and also the mainstream media, as of course one of the current board members of Pfizer is also the chairman and CEO of Reuters. Now, what exactly is happening right now? Well, I don't know, but I think in a few years from now, when we actually find out what's going on today in our modern day and age, we will be shocked by the actual truth of it. And I could almost guarantee that happening. That's my personal view. That's my perspective. If you think I'm wrong in any way, shape, or form, let me know why down in the comment section below. If you disliked this video, click dislike. If you liked it, click like. Again, doing another video on LukeUncensored.com. I'm sorry for the people that couldn't get tickets. I wish there's more tickets to the event that we're planning here with TimCast.com. We're going to be working very hard here to try to accommodate as many people as we can. For the people that didn't get the tickets through LukeUncensored.com yesterday, we're going to be doing more future events. I'm going to be doing my own events. We're doing everything we can, and we do that because of your support, because of you guys sharing these videos, participating in LukeUncensored.com, being a part of our team, helping us out. And if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be here. This is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for a lot more here on wearechange.org.